Welcome back, friends and fans of Poverty Hollow. In today's episode, we're presenting Race 11. Race 11 is a tale of two completely different vehicles. The first car presented in front of you is a Corvette Grand Sport produced by Matchbox. This car was released in 1989. It was produced for the world premiere Hot Rod collection from Matchbox as a premium line rubber tire car. The Grand Sport soldiered on through 1998 before Matchbox terminated its production lifespan. This particular one appeared in the 1997 mainline and features Matchbox's super fast line of wheels. If you notice the raised inner edge of the wheel, it's to help promote a little bit less friction on track and therefore higher speed. With a wide stance and its rudimentary suspension based off of an internal strip of spring steel which holds the axles in place. Notice this. It actually has suspension. This car, it should be deceptively fast, even though it is deceptively light at 33 grams. This car is piloted by Kuz, or Hayden Kuznak. His challenger today is Speed Seeker. Now, Speed Seeker, this one is, its version of this casting was released in 1983, part of the Ultra Hots line. This weighs about 44 grams. It's being piloted by Oliver Dean, or Richard Gray. In typical Hot Wheels fashion, it's an in-house designed car that has been renamed 5 times, I believe. It was originally designed by Ira Guilford. You may be familiar with Ira Guilford as the designer of Twin Mill. This car was released originally in 1970 and was named Mantis before it received a major revision in 1973. Went from having an exposed engine in the back to having the louvers that you see there, but it still had an opening cockpit. It sat dormant for a couple years before being released in 1983 as part of the Ultra Hots line, as I had said before. Let's see here. In downhill racing, it has a fair following. It's generally a fast car. It features good weight. It's a wider stance and is often found having pretty decent wheels and axles. This particular one was used in the White Ice 4-car mini collection in 1997 and was renamed again as Speed Machine. So let's see how this goes. We're racked up, we're ready to rip. Corvette versus Speed Machine, take 1. Speed Machine taking an early lead out of the spiral, a little bit of slide. A heavy drift, but comes across the line. 9.617 at 150.7 at the trap. And unfortunately, Kuz in his Corvette spun out on the backstretch and lost all momentum on the inside of the corner here. Race 2. Kuz on the outside lane now having to defend himself. Can he hold off and take over on the Speed Machine, or Speed Seeker, or whatever else this car's identity crisis leads it to believe it is? Let's go. Speed Seeker with the lead going into the spiral, coming out. A heavy spin. A bump by Kuz. He's chasing him down, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Speed Seeker coming across the line, 10.502 at the trap, 168 miles an hour. Welcome to race 12, friends, which is probably going to be the most favorite race of fans. In this case, because of that Ferrari F40. This Ferrari F40, which is being piloted by three people, go figure, most popular car. Benjamin Wilson, which is Eric Slan, of our ever favorite Slanman Customs. Thank you, shout out. Going underneath his son's name, Brock Schnars, and James Sterling, which is Matthew Parisi. This car, it hardly needs an introduction at all. The F40 was an absolute poster child for 80s performance excess, both in real life and on Orange Track. This one, it first debuted in 1989, ran through 2014, up until the point that Hot Wheels actually lost the Ferrari license and was unable to produce any more of their models whatsoever. It actually, in 2014, had received a final revision which closed off the headlights and actually made the hatch part of the body instead of being loosened like most vehicles. This car is notoriously fast in the downhill racing community. Because of its wider stance, it is relatively heavy. It's 53 grams or so. And it has an extreme likelihood of having premium wheels and axles, ultra hot, gold medal speed, anything that's nickel-plated axle or a very, less rolling resistance wheel. This particular car came from the Ferrari 5-pack that was released in 1995 and also had ultra hot wheels, which they're thinner axles. This one, unfortunately, the axles were messed up. It was replaced with a set of nickel-plated axles from a color changer car. His challenger is the Classic Cobra. The Classic Cobra, which this one is being piloted by Outlaw Curtis and Jimmy John. It was first released in 1983 as part of the Hot Ones line. The Classic Cobra was a surprisingly dense car for how small it is. This one is just under 50 grams. Wish my camera would focus. Thank you. Anyway, it owes it to its metal-on-metal construction. OG Hot Wheels collectors most likely will know it for its red and yellow combo, which is featured right here. This car was released in 1986, if I remember right. And it was retooled here for the 2020 mainline, which is right here. But in the 2020 retooling, he's not metal on metal anymore. He's plastic, lost almost 20 grams of weight, and he also lost the opening hood feature. Just kind of a sad thing. It didn't lose much in terms of speed, though, which is kind of amusing. This particular one shows up in the sports car series, which is also something that the Porsche 930 Slant Nose, that was our first race in this championship, was also from. I suppose let's get down to the racing. Enough rambling, huh? 12, Race 1. Does the Classic Cobra have a chance? Or do you hear Judas Priest Turbo Lover somewhere in the background? Let's find out. Cobra leading off into the spiral, the Ferrari pushing him. The Cobra takes off again. He's backwards, but he's coming out of the corner. He does take the win. Parking backwards into the catch there. 12:039. Drop speed of 148.6. With race 1 in the books, it appears that the legend is left scrambling. Is a little convertible about to kick his ass? Let's find out in race 2. Heading ahead, the Cobra goes down into the spiral. Ferrari's chasing. Ferrari trying for the pass. Cobra sliding. It's not enough. It's not enough. At the line, nearly photo finish. 10.109, 161 miles per hour. Let's look at that as a replay once again. Crazy race, right? Pretty wild stuff. Well, speaking of Ferraris, if you guys like Ferraris, well, you hang in there for our next competition. I think you'll have fun choosing which one you want to pilot. There's only 9 of them or so. Get a good look. Get ready. 90s championship is coming.